All right, person at the Wexford County Jail, please state your name for the record.
Samantha Fotis.
All right, ma'am, you met with somebody, or at least talked with somebody from Community Corrections today and gave them some contact information. Was that information accurate?
Yes, my phone, I just have to buy a new phone, but the SIM card and service is active. My screen just went black, but the phone works.
So the phone ending in 8913 is still a good phone number?
Yes.
All right. And did you have the opportunity to meet with somebody from the Public Defender's Office today?
Yes, sir.
I have a complaint that alleges that on or about August 4th, 2026 in Clam Lake Township of Wexford County, Michigan, it's alleged in count number 1 that you committed the offense of controlled substance possession of methamphetamine. That is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison and or a fine of $15,000. Additionally, they've charged you as a habitual offender second offense notice, meaning that you have at least one prior either attempted or completed felonies in your past. Looks like in this case it's a forgery. That makes that 10 years punishable by up to 15 years in prison. Do you understand those charges and the potential penalties?
Yes.
On felony complaints, you have certain rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questioning you consent to, and the right to stop answering questions at any time. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and if you cannot afford one will be appointed to represent you at public expense, but you may be required to repay a portion of that expense. Today, do you plan to hire an attorney, represent yourself, or request the appointment of one?
I would like an appointment, please.
The court will make a referral to the Public Defender's Office for the appointment of an attorney, enter a not guilty plea, and will set the matter for a preliminary examination. That's a hearing that's held here in the district court within 21 days. At that hearing, the prosecution is required to prove 2 things. 1, probable cause that the felony had occurred, and 2, probable cause that you were the person who committed the felony. If the prosecution is not able to do that, the case will be dismissed, but if they are able to, you'll be bound over to stand trial in circuit court. Prior to that preliminary examination, there'll be a probable cause conference. That's where your attorney and the prosecutor will get together to see if there's a way to resolve the case short of going to trial. You also have the right to have a bond set. Your bond is based upon the probability of you appearing at future court appointments and the threat that you pose to the community. Counsel in 10, I show that forgery that was mentioned. And in 15, there's an operating while visibly impaired by a controlled substance. And the praxis scores her at a risk level 8. Any comment regarding bond from the defender's office?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. When I spoke earlier with Ms. Fotis, she indicated to me that she has a couple of court dates coming up. So she has court on the 19th for guardianship for her son, as well as a court hearing for one of her other charges on the 11th. She let me know that even though she just got here a couple months ago, she came here to kind of start over, get a new life going. And she just got a place to live. So she has had a roof over her head for about a week. Although the praxis scores her at 8, it's understandable. I know you said the controlled substance, but I had it as no prior drug charges, so not sure. But she indicated to me that she's looking to get a new job because she lost her job because of this one. She does pay child support for one of her children that she cannot pay while she is in jail. So we would respectfully request a PR bond or, in the alternative, a release to some sort of treatment. Thank you.
So the PCH indicates that it was a straight up operating while visibly impaired, but the Secretary of State record shows that operating while impaired by a controlled substance, operating with the presence of drugs.
Thank you.
Now, Ms. Austin, did you say she now has a place to live?
She does now, Your Honor. She indicated to me that they had been kind of in between hotels and everything, but about a week ago they were able to get a roof over their head to have an actual location to live. So she's no longer living in her car at Wild Bill's.
Because the praxis indicates that that's where she's living in her car, but you're saying she actually has a place to stay now.
Yeah, that's correct, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Lawrence.
Given the nature of the charge, I would ask for to close random drug testing. I do think a monetary bond is appropriate. Her praxis score is very concerning at how high it is. I do think she's a flight risk, given the fact that she self-reports to failure to peers, as well as the fact that she's currently on bond in another county while she picked up this possession of meth charge. So I would ask the court to impose a monetary bond. Thank you.
Ms. Lawrence, is this the result of a basic traffic stop or what?
It is, Your Honor.
You know, is there weight we're talking about, or is it residue?
It was a glass pipe that was found in her purse with residue inside.
Ms. Austin, the case that she's currently on bond for, is that the B&E with intent and larceny out of Oceana County?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jail, do we know, does she have any holds on her for probation or bond violations?
Let me go look, Your Honor. Give me just a second.
All right.
No hold, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, I do find that the defendant presents as a flight risk. Well, maybe not from the state, certainly from our area. She does not have sufficient ties to the community. She is no longer employed. She's on bond when this allegedly occurred. Ms. Fotis, as a condition of your bond, you are to appear as ordered, keep your contact information current, not leave the state without permission, and to commit no new crimes. Given the allegations, you are not to consume any controlled substances, including recreational marijuana, and you'll be subject to random testing. The defendant does score an 8, which is a high risk. So bond will be set at $2,500 cash surety with those conditions. Ms. Fotis, if you are able to post bond, you'll need to come to the Community Corrections Office located on the ground floor of the courthouse to get signed up for your testing requirements. Do you have any questions for me at all about your bond conditions?
25,000, wait,
2,500 cash surety.
so I need $2,500 to
For
get out.
announcement.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you, Your Honor.
all right, thank you. We're done. All right, court calls the people of the state of Michigan versus Scott Henry Couch Jr. This is case number 26-1341 FT, appearances counsel.
Joanna, can you put this away?
May I please call Robert Champion, appearing on behalf of Scott Couch, who is seated in my right.
And we're here for a prelim, but it looks like Mr. Couch is signing a waiver.
He is, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Couch, have you had adequate opportunity to discuss what waiving a prelim means and feel comfortable in doing so? Counsel, before I sign this, is there anything else we need to discuss?
No, thank you.
Not at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I will sign that. Mr. Couch, you're now bound over the circuit court, and you should be there in a couple weeks.
Sir.
All right, thank you.
Is Jonathan on Zoom?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but he'll start coming
Yeah.
in.
Did I have a big sheet? Okay.
Court next calls the people of the state of Michigan versus Cole Benjamin Hooker.
Sorry.
All right, this is case number 262611FY. Appearances counsel.
I'm Jeff Harrison. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Hooker. He's joined me at the table. He's seated beside me.
Counsel, we were scheduled for a preliminary examination, but it looks like we have a resolution. Am I correct on that?
Indeed.
That would be two. Do you have the correct code?
It is. My understanding that it will be guilty to, just for plea purposes, failure to sign his registration as a sex offender under MCL 28.729(3), and the people will dismiss count 1. Failing to report a change in residence and the habitual offenders both notice.
Ms. Carey, do you happen to have the penalties for that by chance?
I do. It's 92 days and/or $1,000.
All right, thank you. Mr. Harrison.
That's commensurate with my understanding.
All right, Mr. Hooker, have you heard what the attorneys have said the resolution of this case is?
Yes.
Is that how you wish to resolve it? Will you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
So it's my you may put your hand down. Have you had adequate opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. Harrison and feel comfortable in entering a guilty plea today?
Yes.
So it's my understanding you'll be pleading guilty to an added count of failing to sign the SOAR registration, which is a 93-day misdemeanor, so up to 93 days in jail, and or a fine of up to $1,000. In exchange for that, the people will dismiss count number 1 of failed to register, which is the 4-year felony, and the habitual fourth, which makes that up to a 15-year. Is that your understanding as to what's happening today?
Yes, sir.
Back on March 14th of this year, were you on probation or parole in any other cases? Were you on bond in any other file?
No.
You understand that you have the right to have a trial either by judge or jury, the right to have witnesses called for your defense at trial, the right to cross-examine all witnesses called against you, the right to testify, the right to be silent. If you choose to be silent, that silence could not be used against you, and the right to be presumed innocent and the right to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Most importantly, do you understand that by entering a guilty plea today, you'll be giving up those rights, you won't have a trial of any kind? Other than the plea agreement, has anybody promised you anything in order to get you to plea? Has anybody threatened you in any way? And is it your own free choice to plea today?
Yes.
Are counsel aware of any promises, threats, inducements not made part of the record?
No,
I am not.
Then Mr. Hooker, to the allegation that on or about March 14, 2026, in the village of Mesick of Wexford County, how do you plead to an added count 2 of fail to sign the SOAR registration?
Guilty, Your Honor.
In order to accept that plea, I must have you tell me what it is that makes you guilty. So back on March 14th, were you residing in the village of Mesick?
Yeah. No.
No? Were you, Mr. Harrison, do you wish to volunteer a little bit?
I will. It is complicated, Your Honor, and I appreciate that opportunity from the court. Okay, Mr. Hooker, you had signed a SOAR, or you had registered your address with the people that maintain SOAR.
Yeah.
And you had given them an address in Mesick.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you at that address in March?
I was not at that address.
Right, okay. Your Honor, we're going to elicit facts to the charged offense, if
Sure.
that's appropriate with the court.
I agree.
Okay. You were aware that you have a duty to update your address when you move?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll explain that later. And you knew that failing to do that could subject you to being arrested?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Do counsel believe the defendants provided a factual basis in which to accept the plea to the greater offense, allowing the court to take a plea to the lesser offense?
I do.
And do you believe the court rules have been complied with?
I do.
I do as well.
All right, the court agrees. I do find the defendant guilty of failing to sign the registration, the SOAR registration. Given the facts in the fail to register, the court can take and use those to find it guilty of a lesser offense. I assume we're able to sentence today.
That would be our preference, Your Honor.
Mr. Harrison?
He's had a rough go of things, and you can well imagine having to be on SORA. In addition to that, he is in fact homeless. However, when he last registered, and I'm not sure where that was, that may have been in Grand Traverse County.
Yeah.
They convinced him to give them an address, and it was a hotel in Traverse City. And then they did a compliance check later on, and he was at the Mesick address, but that was never intended to be his address, et cetera, et cetera. We have that cleared up now with the SORA he had to register for last month. So he's not going to run into that complication again. What happened was his name came up in the course of an investigation into a completely separate issue, crime. And the police checked his SOAR registration, went to the Mesick address, and he wasn't there. And he was subsequently apprehended, et cetera, et cetera. I don't believe it was his intent to hide. I don't believe he has any intention of thwarting his responsibilities under SORA. He's been subject to SORA for a long period of time. And has only had, I think, just one prior violation. There might be more. That was the only one that I saw. He spent something, all told, I believe it was 7 days in jail already on this, and I don't know what your record
We
reflects.
show 1 day.
Just 1 day?
Yeah.
Okay, there was a delay in the initial start of the case, and I didn't know if he had been incarcerated that whole time, so I apologize, Your Honor. But the good things that are going on right now, he's got a stable relationship. He's got what he hopes to be a place to live. He can't register there yet. And he's continuing his search for employment. He's never had trouble finding employment. He's had trouble keeping it because inevitably somebody will find out that he's on SORA, et cetera, et cetera. You know how that goes. So he's really between a rock and a hard place in a couple of ways. But at a minimum, I think he's got his SORA registration in a condition where he's going to be able to remain compliant because he's not giving them a fake address just to fill in the blanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Carey?
Well, I'm gonna say that the offense that got him on the registration, or the offenses, happened in 2005. He was sentenced to a very long term of incarceration. So yes, he's been on SOR for a while, but I think it's only been in the last few years that he's been required to register, starting in 2023, it looks like. And I will say, in 2024, on 2 occasions in July and October, he verified at 2 different addresses in Traverse City. April of 2025, he verified in Leelanau, July of 2025, Music, October of 25, Music, and January of 26, Music. So he clearly knew that he had to register, and he knew what his requirements were, and he was using the Music address for quite some time. But then he didn't change the address when he no longer lived there. In fact, I think that he was still using the same address even though he wasn't living there. However, so I'm just curious as to why that was brought up. But given that and what he's pled to today, I'm going to leave sentencing to the court, although I retract that. I would like to ask for a short-term of probation to make sure that he is compliant and that we know where he is for at least a period of time, because after this, he was also arrested in bad acts, so he's kind of wandering around, and I think some supervision may help him straighten out a little bit, or at least get his affairs in order. Thank you.
Mr. Hooker, you have the right to address the court prior to sentencing. Is there anything you'd like me to know?
Yeah, I'll just say that I'm sorry for the slip up. It's so hard to get around. You know, when you don't have a license, you don't have a car, and you're out of music. Like it's hard to get to Cadillac every 3 days to register where I'm going to stay, and it's hard. But I won't do it again. I'm going to bug them. I'm going to make sure that I want to make sure that they know every place that I'm staying for 1-2 days at a time, wherever I'm at, whatever I got going on. So I won't slip up again. I apologize. Trying.
Did you become homeless after that address change?
I haven't had a stable place to live since I've been out. I mean, for that, you know, I made it off 2-year parole. When I went to register, they tell me, I tell them I'm homeless. I've been staying with a bunch of different friends, just bouncing around me. And they say, well, just give us your last known or whatever. And so I give them, you know, the Music address, because that's where I got off parole at. That's where I was at. That's where I was at when my parole officer comes. So I don't know. It's you know.
So, counsel, it's been a while since I've had to deal with the SOAR registry, but if I recall, there is a provision to register as homeless, correct?
Yes.
Right. And that's on.
For the record, he was released from prison in 2023. I may have said 2022.
I don't remember what you said, but I could tell by looking at his minimum sentence out of those cases that he had a great deal of time to spend in prison. Mr. Hooker, when was the last time you had regular employment?
I just was let go from Graceland Fruit out in Frankfurt because of transportation purposes. Because I'm trying to, but I'm working right now for a woman in Traverse, remodeling, you know, her house and building a shed. So I am working right now. So.
But that's not that's
It's
not an on-job type.
It's an on-job, yeah. What I'm making.
All right, the sentence today will be 1 day jail with 1 day credit. There is a $75 crime victims' rights fund fee, $50 state minimum fee. I find those are appropriate, given that they are mandatory. I am going to put the defendant on a period of probation for 6 months. During the period of time that you're on probation, you're not to violate any law, report is ordered, not leave the state without permission, and keep your contact and employment information current.
Your Honor, can I get that switched to Traverse City? So it is hard
So-
for me to get out.
We don't necessarily have the ability to switch because we're not like the felony system where we're all part of the same office. But I will tell you that our office will work with you, and which is going to go to what my conditions are going to be. And my conditions are going to be that you just need to check in, just so we can keep track of you and make sure that you are
Live.
one. Yeah, exactly. You're live, you're employed, you've got housing, those sorts of things. So I'm going to make this no conditions except report. Now, you are eligible for early release if you report as required, whether that's 1 day a week, 3 days a week, whatever your probation officer sets up. That's what you'll be required to do. But as long as you do that, and you've done everything that we've asked you to do within the first 3 months, you can be released early. So I put you on for 6 months, but if you do everything you're supposed to, it's really a 3-month probation. 3 months of probation is $90. I will waive the fine, court costs, and attorney fee.
Thank you, brother.
If you do end up staying longer than that 3 months, you will be required to pay the $30 monthly probation fee. Anything I missed in a judgment sentence, Ms. Carey?
No, thank you.
Mr. Harrison?
I have nothing further to offer, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Hooker, you can go out to the front window where you checked in, get a copy of your, any balance that remains unpaid for more than 56 days will have a 20% penalty added to that. I will waive that penalty while you're on probation. So go out to the front window where you checked in, get a copy of your judgment, make a payment if you're able to. If not, get set up on a payment plan, and then go downstairs to the district court probation office to get signed up for your probation requirements. All right. Thank you. Good luck.